thanks for joining me. This is Maureen, and I am here with you for my January Plan With Me video. I can't believe we're into a new month or a new year already. It's 2022 or almost 2022 as I'm planning this one out. I am pulling out all of my supplies. I'm using this Stampin' Up! Stamp set called Snowman Season. I'm using a few of the images from here. You'll see as I move along. I am a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, so I do sell Stampin' Up! Products, and I decided to use this product in my book today. I'm also using my Memento ink, some Balmy Blue, and some Pacific Point Blue. Those are also Stampin' Up! Products. Along with that, I'm using my Tombow marker, so let's jump right on in. To start with, I'm starting with a quote, and I am using my Tombow 452 marker. And my quote I found online, and it says, "Kindness is like snow. It beautifies everything it covers." And I thought this quote was fitting for the month of January because it is a month when snow often happens, usually around the 15th. It seems to get really cold here in the Northeast. And I thought about snow and how beautiful snow makes everything. And along with that, kindness does too. So for my quote, I started off writing the words that I wanted to be in a larger size. I often write those first because I want to make sure I have room for them. And then I can go back in and use a smaller font for those other words, and they can fit anywhere. I'm now using my 493 Tombow marker to add in the smaller words, just to give the page some interest so that I have words in different sizes and also different fonts. On the right side, I am going to write the word January in the center. It's sort of in the center, maybe more towards the top third of the page. And I'm writing it nice and big, and I'm still using that Tombow 493 marker to write out January. Along with this, first I'm putting a stamp and ink pad on the side so that I can have a place to balance my hand. It's really tricky when you get to the end of a book or end of the page, and you need to have a place to rest your hand so that you can finish the word. So now I'm pulling out my Memento ink, and I am using the snowman image from the Snowman Season stamp set, and I'm stamping a snowman there. I usually like to draw my own pictures, but this month I decided I would use a stamp set. So I'm going to add some arms to my snowman, but I'm trying to decide which brown to use. Should I go with the early espresso or soft suede? I decided on early espresso, the darker color for the arms, because twigs are usually a darker color. So I am going in and giving him an arm on each side, getting him all set. And I am going to add some snowflakes to my page. I am using the Balmy Blue, and I put two different images on there of the snowflakes because there's two different images, and I put them on one block and just started to stamp away. And I tried to rotate my image a little bit with my block just so that all of my images are not going in the same direction. I think it gives it a little bit more interest and randomness when you change it around, because snowflakes are pretty random, right? They're not all the same, so they shouldn't be going in the same direction. So now I'm using my pumpkin pie Stampin' Up! Marker to color in his nose. And I think that page is all set. And next I am going to get ready to create my calendar. So on this page for my calendar, I like to make my boxes nice and big, so I'm going to use a 5x5 size. I'm starting out with my 452 marker, and I am going to use the bullet tip to trace out the boxes. And like I said, I do a 5x5 size box. It gives me enough room to write inside different things that are happening during the month. So I am just counting some things out, making sure I have the space for all of my boxes, counting down, and continuing on until I can get all of my boxes in place. Sometimes when I create my calendars, I put them on one side of the page, but I do like the look of having them stretch across. So I have 4 boxes on the left, and then I'm doing the 3 on the right side. And I like to start my calendar on Sunday. My weeklies I start on Mondays, but for my calendar, I like it to be on Sundays. I just like how it balances out the Saturday on the far right and the Sunday on the far left. And I think it makes it look nicer, in my opinion. So now I'm going to write January at the top, and I am pulling back in that Tombow 493 marker to write January up there. And then I'm going to use my Zig marker. I love this marker. It's one of my favorites. It's the Zig writer for Vellum to write all of my numbers in there. And I'm flipping back to my year at a glance to make sure that I know when January stops, that there's 31 days, and all those things. So it's great to have that year at a glance, so that year at a glance, so you can go back and check that, so that you can remember how many rows you need, how many days are in the month, and all that fun stuff. So now I'm stamping in some images. I'm using that snowman again. Actually, it's a snowman stamp set, but a different image of the snowman. And then I'm adding my snowflakes in. And this time I'm going to use 2 colors. So I started off with the balmy blue, and now I'm adding in Pacific Point. And I just love all the snow on this page. It gets me really ready for a snowy January. So we'll see if that happens or not. So coloring in his nose with my pumpkin pie, and then I have to color his scarf. I love when scarves are striped like that, so I can use 2 colors to color in. I am using the 452, and then I'm going to use the 476, and then I'm going to get the lighter blue in 451 to color in his hat. All set. So now we're going to jump to our next page, and I am going to get ready for my 1 line a day. And in the back of this book, I'm using a Leuchtturm 2nd edition journal. And in the back of the book, there are strips that you can use that have the days of the week. So first I'm numbering down the side from 1 to 31. And then I'm going to pull in those strips. And that way I can look and know what day of the week it is. So it starts on a Monday, and I'm just going to move it up because the first day in January is actually a Saturday. So I'm going to cut the top part off, cut the bottom off, and stick them back on my paper. And then that paper can go away. So now I'm going to get ready to write 1 at the top using my Zig marker. And then I'm going to pull in my alphabet stamps. I used these a lot last December, and I loved using them. I love the contrast of the cursive writing and then the stamps. So I'm stamping out line a day using the alphabet stamps. And they are really cute. I'll be sure to link them at the bottom here if you want to find them online. I think I got them from Amazon. So next I'm going to color every other line, so that when I am writing, it's easy to see where to write, because those dots are tricky to see in some lighting. So I want to make sure that I can see all of them. All right, so now I'm going to get ready for the right side, and I'm going to create my brain dump. I don't always use this page, so I'm trying to figure out if I'm going to continue with it. But I'm sticking it in here for January, and I'll decide. If I use it a lot this month, I'll keep going. But if not, I'm not going to add that next month. So again, I use the alphabet stamps, and I stamped dump, and then I'm using my snowman stamps again, and I decided to put 2 snowmen at the bottom. So one is very happy, looks like he's juggling snow, and then the other one I'm giving him those twig arms again. And I decided that I was going to put a hat on him this time. So I went back in and got that hat and then stamped it at the very top there. And I realized there's holly and leaves on the hat, but I was already into it, so I just kept going. So now I'm adding my snowflakes using the balmy blue ink, and sometimes I am not re-inking just to give it a variation of color. I'm adding the nose, coloring all that in like I did before, and I decided I might as well go on in there and color in those berries and the holly and just let them have a Christmas hat. It's okay. And I forgot to stamp some snowflakes on the left side, so I added that in there, and there we go. So this page here is pretty new for me. I have not created this before. So this is a dashboard page, and I've seen a few people make these pages, and this is a page where you can, organize your month. So for me, I'm thinking of things that are important for me to be thinking about during the month of January. And I have 3 sections that I've created, and then I'm going to create one at the bottom as well. And I can add some things that are important to me for the month. So at the top, I'm going to highlight it first, but I'm going to name one section work. And there I can put different tasks and things that I need to do for work. And then the next section is home, for different things that need to get done at home. And then the third section is for errands and for buying things. So things that I need to think about purchasing, I can add there. And then at the bottom, phone and text, so I can make sure I stay in contact with my friends, because that's always important to do. On the right side, I'm doing my habits and my mood. And I'm checking my calendar to make sure I draw it correctly to have the shape of the month. So again, it's great to look back and see how many spaces you're going to need. So I'm going to put in 3 of these calendars, and the first one is going to be for my mood, and then I have 2 habits that I'm going to track. I used to track a lot of habits, but then I didn't always keep up with it, so I'm not sure if I'm going to continue, but I thought I'd start off January with it and see how it goes. So my first thing that I wrote was for mood tracking. I want to track my mood. I also want to track my walking and try to get more into walking this month. And then also cooking more, so making sure we don't eat out too much. All right, then I gave myself a drop shadow, and I'm adding in another snowman. And he's going to get his scarf colored after I give myself some snowflakes. Just to make the page look a little bit happier and more like January. So I'm going to color in that striped scarf again. I'm using the same markers as before, the same type of idea. Now on here, I didn't put a heading, but later I'm going to go back in and put a heading. And when I do the flip through, you'll see that the heading is actually there. So the last page that I am sharing with you today is my weekly events page, or my weekly page. So I'm starting off by making a box for each day of the week. And in these boxes, I can add in different events. Like if I have an appointment, or a certain meeting, I can write that on the left side just so that I know what's going on, or even a birthday of a friend or a family member, I can add that in there as well. In the right side, I am going to create a running task list. I started doing this a lot last year, and it worked out well, because for work, I often have a long list of items to get done, and it's great to have one place to place them. So I'm using the alphabet stamps again and typing in the stamping the word events right there, just again to give it a little bit of variation with my title. So it's weekly and then events. And so now I'm setting up my running task list on the right. I'm going to highlight where I am going to put the days of the week. I'm writing out tasks, putting in the days of the week. And so if I start a task on Monday, I'll put a dot there. And if it takes me till Wednesday to get done, I can draw a line across to show when I finished it. And that just helps so that if someone will ask me, when did I do a certain thing, I can look back and see when I got it done. And then I can also see how long it took me to get something done as I think about planning for future tasks and things that I have to do. So I'm adding snowflakes to the page just to keep going with my theme, with my snowman and my snowflakes, and moving it along. And one more snowman. And then I'm going to color him in. And this is going to just about do it for my January setup. So I'm going to quickly do a flip through just to show you all of the pages. And I'm interested to know which page was your favorite. So leave me a message and let me know which page was your favorite. And I hope to see you again soon. Bye-bye.